Hey everybody, I'm SIsk, and I lost 60 pounds just by exercising and eating better. That's right, you heard me correctly. You do not have to go on a special diet, and you do not even have to go to the gym to lose the weight that you wish to lose. Hey everybody, it's SIsk here with another episode of Society's Intervention, where I talk about tough topics and things people just don't like to talk about and try to maybe figure out what the hell is wrong with our world. So today I'm going to touch on a little bit of a touchy topic. It's weight loss and obesity and how it's affecting our world and what you can do to prevent obesity and being overweight and living a healthier life. So without further ado, here it is, Society's Intervention on weight loss and obesity. Hey everybody, it's SIsk here on another episode of Society's Intervention, where I try to figure out what the hell is wrong with this world. Joined with me today is one of my really good friends, John Langan. He, like me, lost a shit ton of weight, actually way more than I did, and he's actually studying to be a trainer and help people lose weight like he did. So,
hey,
here we are. So, overweight, obesity, and losing weight. I feel like that's a very touchy topic for a lot of people. So I'm going to start off with talking about the statistics to try to put this into perspective of how important it is to watch this. This is not to bash anybody. This is not to be mean or make anybody feel bad. This is just simply to talk about health risks and try to make people aware. So I'm going to start off by right here in my home country, in the United States. As of 2009 2010, there was a study done. Just in the United States alone, 68% of adults were considered overweight, and 36% were considered obese, and 6.3% were considered extremely obese. Now, comparing that with Europe, it was pretty equal between the men and the women. It was about 50% were overweight, and about 23% of women were obese and 20% of men were obese, but they didn't have an extreme obese category, so that kind of puts it into perspective of how out of control this could possibly get. So if we look at that, we go to the world view, and we have, as of 2014, there were 600 million people worldwide that were considered obese, 2 billion people that were considered overweight, and as of 2013, there were 42 million children that were considered obese. To put it in a little bit more perspective, other than just comparing two countries, if we look, there is a chart on which countries in the world are the top 10 most obese countries in the world. Some of these threw me, honestly. Number one, of course, is the United States, because we have to be number one no matter if it's good or bad. We gotta be number one, damn it. Doesn't matter what it is. So number one is the United States. Number two is China. Number three is India. Number four is Russia. Number 5 is Brazil. Number 6 is Mexico. Number 7 is Egypt. That one really kind of threw me. Number 8 is Germany, Pakistan, and number 10 is Indonesia. So this shows that it's not just a United States or Europe or India or Mexico's problem. It's a worldwide thing, and it keeps growing. They even said that since the year 1980, the amount of worldwide obesity and overweight has doubled. It was only 36 years ago. That's not that long of a time when you think about it. And if you want to explain to the people at home what the difference is between obesity and overweight and what are some of the things to look for.
I would love to. The difference between being obese and overweight comes down to the body mass index. A body mass index of 30% or higher would be obese. Overweight is defined by a BMI of 25 to 29.9%.
Pretty much just comes down to percentage of body fat, like how much you weigh compared to like how tall you are, or muscle index and stuff like that, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, there's ways you can do that. You can ask your doctor about it. There's also things online that you can look up and calculate it as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and what I did to lose the weight that I did. When I originally went to the doctor, I found out that I was 296 pounds. That's almost 300 pounds. I was actually really shocked because it can't get away from you. You don't realize that, you know, you're eating as much as you are, and it just becomes the norm after a while, and then you show up to the doctor and you're 300 pounds. That was my beginning sign of that I needed to start doing something different. And then I realized that I had high cholesterol. I'm only 22 years old. I shouldn't be having these issues of having high cholesterol and things like that. Well, in theory, I shouldn't, you know. So, you know, I'm not going to lie, it kind of scared me a little bit because, you know, I feel like this is a logical thing. I just don't want to die. So I took that as my motive to go and try to do better. And I mean, all I did was just start exercising. I became more active. I ate smaller portions. I ate better food. I cut down on certain things like carbs and fat and sugar and things like that. So to be completely honest, and you can say if you think that's true or not, you really don't have to go on a special diet. You don't have to go on some magical pill that, you know, says that makes you lose all this weight. You don't have to get the surgery. You don't have to you don't even have to really go to the gym, honestly. I mean, you agree with that?
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, yeah, it's as simple as just going outside and maybe, you know, start off easy. You don't even really have to do a lot at the beginning. Just that little bit of change, it helps. You know, if you cut down on your food portions, that helps. If you eat better food, that helps. Even if you start walking, you don't even have to start running. You don't have to be a triathlete. You don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to be a track star. You don't have to do that. When I first started exercising, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't run as much as I used to. So I started walking, and I eventually built up to running and jogging and things like that. So that's how I eventually, you know, lost the 60 pounds that I did. And I didn't do anything special. But the people that you see on TV and they're telling you about all these special diets and these special pills and these special surgeries, they're just trying to get money out of your pocket. They're not trying to help you. They're really not. You know, it's a lie. I mean, okay, it does help. I'm not gonna lie, it does help, but you don't need to spend that extra money. You don't need to go and scar up your body and get surgery, and you don't have to take pills to lose weight. There's other ways to do it. So why don't you tell them a little bit about what you did, because your story is a lot more amazing than mine is, to be completely honest.
Well, thank you.
Well,
2010, I was a senior in high school, and one night I was watching a television show that specializes in weight loss, I guess you could say. And I related to this guy's story and got me to think I don't want to be a statistic that dies due to obesity. I was 125 pounds overweight. By eating right, I lost 60 pounds because I was also recovering from surgery I had, so I was limited with mobility. So just by eating right, I lost 60 pounds. And then once I recovered from surgery, I lost an additional 60 pounds by exercising and eating right. So just small changes in your lifestyle can help you make drastic changes.
you lost 120 pounds.
Somewhere around there, yes.
So you lost an entire person. This man lost an entire person.
I guess you could say.
Well, small person. This man lost an entire small person. I mean, that's what we're trying to talk about. I mean, you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to go spend your money. I mean, that is a whole nother issue. The fact that the more or the healthier foods that you could get, and the gym memberships and things like that, they do cost money. And the healthier foods do cost more normally than the unhealthier foods, and that is a problem in itself. Now, spending a couple extra dollars to get a healthier version of something that you would have eaten, I think is honestly worth it in the long run, because the long run is you want to be healthy. You want to be able to live as long as you possibly can, spend time with your family, your friends. You don't want to shorten that time. Now, what I'm about to say, I am not trying to sound offensive or mean or trying to make people feel like shit, or I'm not trying to sound like a heartless bastard, you know, when I say this. But when you have TV shows and you have people out there that are overweight and they are obese and they're getting to the point where it's unhealthy, and they're saying that they are proud of who they are and they love who they are, you know, you should love who you are as a person. However, you shouldn't necessarily be proud that you're that, you know, that you're to that level of unhealthiness. You know, I mean, do you agree with what I'm saying?
Yes, you should try to be the best person you can possibly be.
I totally support people being themselves and being different and loving who you are as a person. But while you're doing it, you need to keep in mind your health. You know, that's a very important thing, because the more unhealthy you are, the less time you're going to have to be that different, unique, and awesome person that you're trying to be. You know, and there are cases where people are bigger and they are healthy. And if that's how you want to be and you love yourself for that, as long as you're healthy, then that's fine. I'm not saying that you have to be, you know, flat stomach, washboard, six-pack abs or anything like that, because Lord knows I'm not that way, you know, and I'm okay with it. You don't have to be Hollywood beautiful, you know, to love yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to make sure that you're healthy. That's all I'm saying.
Just be the best you possible.
Another thing I want to hit on that a lot of people talk about is the emotional side of losing weight and being overweight and things like that. Because there is a huge emotional side to it. A lot of people they'll get depressed and they'll get upset that they are the way they are. And yes, you know, they did put themselves in that position, but that doesn't mean that we need to make fun of them or we need to make them feel bad or any of that kind of stuff. That's not what that means. Everybody makes mistakes, and it's fine to make mistakes as long as you learn from those mistakes. So if you have a friend or a family member or anything, or anybody that you know, a coworker or anything, and they're trying to lose weight, support them. You know, that support adds on to what they're trying to do. And for those of you that feel like you don't have support, use that as well. Use it to, when you lose the weight and you finally get to where you want to be and you're healthy, so you can throw it in their face and say, here you go, asshole. This is what you get for making fun of me. Use it both ways. Because ultimately, it's up to you if you want to be healthy. And I want you to be healthy. I mean, I'm sure you want people to be healthy. And everybody that loves you wants you to be healthy. So just be healthy, damn it. So one other thing I want to say, and this honestly pisses me off, and you can say if it does you too, but these jackasses that are out there doing this thing that's called fat shaming, like honestly, I feel like that's not like constructive at all. Like, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to help the people get to be healthy and lose the weight, but you're making fun of them and you're calling them names because you're trying to forcefully make them do it. And normally when you try to force people to do shit, they do the exact opposite. They don't want to listen to you because we're people and we don't like to be told what to do. That's just how we are. So, one, they're not going to listen to you because you're being rude and you're being offensive and you're pretty much just being a jerk. And two, now you're just making them feel bad. You're making people feel bad. Like, is that what you're trying to do? You're claiming that you're helping people, but you're really not doing that. You're actually doing the exact opposite. You're making them feel like shit for how they are, for a mistake that they might have made or something that they didn't realize was even happening. Because, you know, eating, it can be considered a drug. For some people, it is addictive. You know, and some people do things like, like emotional eating. Some people, they do have emotional issues. They have depression issues. They have anxiety issues and things like that. And that's how they cope. That's how they cope, is they eat. And is it right? Probably not. But that's just what they do. It makes them feel better. Am I justifying it? No, I'm not. But that doesn't mean you make them feel like shit for doing it. You try to be a friend and you help them. You don't be offensive. You don't be rude. If there was nothing else in this video that you listened to, then you need to listen to what I'm about to say right now. Because this is real, okay? About 1 in 5 people die due to overweight or obesity-related issues. Being overweight and being obese causes health issues that you may not even really be aware is going on in your body. It can cause things like diabetes, it can cause heart disease, it can cause breast, kidney, and colon cancer. It can cause strokes, heart attacks, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. And ultimately, all of these things lead to one thing, and that's death. Okay? This is a very real thing. Being overweight and being obese and being unhealthy can kill you. And it has, as of these statistics that I've been telling you. So John, I have another question for you. What made you want to be a personal trainer?
Well, that's a good question. The answer would be to help people change their lives as mine has been changed by eating healthy, working out, losing weight. You'll feel much better. You'll look much better.
Sounds like you want to pursue this career path for the exact right reasons that we've been talking about. You want to help people, and that's all that we're trying to do with this video. We're trying to help you, and we're trying to make you realize that some of us may be unhealthy and we may not even be aware of it. Just because you're skinny and you can eat fast food and junk food 24 hours a day and gain no weight does not mean that you're healthy. It means probably the exact opposite. It means probably that you are unhealthy. And yes, you can have high metabolisms and you can eat pretty much as much food as you want and gain no weight, which, by the way, I hate you for that because I could just look at food and gain weight. But anyway, you can do that and that's fine. But don't take advantage of it. Don't think that you can just eat whatever the hell you want and everything will be fine, because it won't be. So just be mindful. That's all we're saying. We're not trying to call anybody out. We're not trying to make anybody feel bad. We're trying to help. We're trying to help by telling you the facts, telling you what really happens because of this, and hopefully educating some people and motivating people to go out there and be healthy and lose weight and bring those statistics down, because we don't want to be represented by that. Don't let that represent who you are. Be who you want to be, and don't let anybody else tell you who to be. So, I'm SIsk, and this is my good friend and guest today, John Langan. And this has been another episode of Society's Intervention about weight loss and obesity. And I'll see you guys next time. Everybody, thanks for watching the video today. I'm SIsk, like I said, and I'm giving a big shout out to my good friend here, John Langan, for coming on the show and talking about some things today. And if you liked what you saw, please go down there and subscribe for more videos, because it really helps me out a lot. It gets the videos out there, it gets the word out there, and that's all we want as YouTubers, is just get our information and videos out there. If you subscribe, that helps. Share it, like it, that helps as well. Because when you subscribe, not only do you get notifications for this series, but you get notifications for my other series, like the History You Thought You Knew, movie and TV shows review, and things like that. So please go down there, like, share, subscribe, comment, tell me what you thought. Tell me if you thought what I did was helpful, or if I motivated you, or if it motivated something in you to go out there and make sure that you're healthy and that you're living life right. As always, find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram, find me on all that other shit you guys belong to, because there's so many and I can't keep up with all of it. So find me on it, like, follow, hit whatever button you have to interact with it, and I'll see you guys next time.